Yo, fine scouts and intrepid internet travelers, welcome to my channel. I'm Josh, or as my mother, grandmother, and those scorned like to call me, Joshua. Your binge buffoon, if you will have me. Today, I'm going to be finishing the third season of Disney Plus's illustrious Star Wars series, The Mandalorian. Yes, I know this is super late. For those of you watching this in 2023, it's like a month or so after the episode's dropped. It is what it is. I only have so much time to devote to YouTube, so get over it. But thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I'm actually really looking forward to these last 3 episodes. This season as a whole has provoked some very interesting discourse online, none of which I've read, watched, or listened to. I've just seen headlines amounting to what is essentially some fans calling this fecal matter. That said, I'm out of toilet paper. I just realized that a few minutes ago. So like and subscribe. Not that those things are related, but they could be. So think about it. Star Wars is, it's an interesting IP. It's pretty much more established than any other franchise, but it still needs to prove itself. And I don't say that like it shouldn't have to. It should. Like, why are we still watching? I think Andor made a great argument for why we're still watching, or why we would like to still watch. And it's up to Mando to stick the landing in a similar fashion. I don't really know if it will, but yeah, I want to see what this season means overall and how it's going to set itself up for, or how this show will set itself up for future seasons. As of now, the Children of the Watch have set up shop on Navarro. Bo and the Armorer love each other, and Gideon's up to something now that he's free from the grip of the New Republic. All right, reaction channel. Let's ride the coattails of other people's art. Little celebrity gossip. Did you guys know that Katie Sackhoff dated Billy Butcher? Carl Urban. I'm gonna watch The Boys season 4 on this, by the way.
It is time to retake Mandalore.
Yeah, I don't think that the Armorer's character development has been earned. I understand what we're supposed to take away from that, but it was rushed and it's not convincing at all. We spent too much time with her being fanatical to just accept it. Sorry. That's just it. That is just me, and I've read and listened to other people's explanations. It's just. Is this like a cloning thing? Because that looks like the same dude. Oh no, they're just all the same species. Oh, so she just needs, like, swimming before work. The reason I'm so quick to assume cloning has something to do with everything in this show is I do believe that this show is setting up, or better developing the ways in which the Emperor was able to return.
I am not a criminal.
Of course not. I intended no disrespect.
I don't recognize this voice.
Basic is not my native tongue.
She speaks it pretty well for not being her native tongue.
We will gladly hire your protection.
Oh, it's the Night Owls.
We're privateers.
Individuals for hire. You see, we were already hired by a certain Mon Calamari viceroy who has reason to believe you absconded with her son.
We finally have peace with the calamari. Why would I jeopardize peace and prosperity?
The species is just named after calamari.
I know it was for love.
Squid.
I won't go.
Oh, she did abscond with the son.
Sorry, I gotta bring you back home.
That's
shipmate.
sweet.
After that, you can do whatever you want.
I like Axe's energy.
Don't make us damage your girlfriend's pretty little
He's like a can of Axe body spray personified. Just super confident. Because Axe body spray, as a kid, you'd put that on, you'd go to school, you'd be like, fuck it, eh. No, it's not the
Who
greatest.
cares about fate? I love you.
This is really sweet. Gross and sweet.
I thought Mandalorians were honorable.
We are, kid. All it takes is a few credits.
Oh, that's... I will give this season one thing. The cold opens have been pretty fire. This is bullshit, right? Yeah. He's gotta feel like, why the fuck can't I take my helmet off now?
That's quite a fleet.
It took me a long time to assemble it. Most of it was captured from the Empire.
What happened?
They've taken control of the ship. I guess we're going for a ride.
That's how this show keeps me from being overly critical. It just cuts to Grogu going, goo goo, gaga. And I'm like, well, fuck. I can't forsake the cuteness.
Welcome to Plazier 15. Please proceed to your Hyperloop pod.
Why do they have Imperial droids on an independent world?
Your guess is as good as mine.
I feel like Axe, Wolves, and his cohorts probably did get hired by Gideon. That would make the most sense.
Do you grant permission to scan your chain code?
You don't have one. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Your presence has been requested by the leadership of the planetary democracy.
I'm afraid we have more pressing matters. Perhaps at a later time.
Please do not attempt to leave the vehicle.
Yeah.
Do you think we're gonna have to blast our way out of here?
We'll find out.
Probably.
Join us! Come! It's a party!
Is that who I think it is?
Come!
It is! It's Jablinski! It's Jack. Dude, I love Jack Black. I just love the guy. He's the best. I haven't looked at his channel in a while, and if you ever see this, Jablinski won't, but...
Facilities planning.
What's going on? Maybe he's still posting, I don't know.
You were Imperial?
He was. Plazier suffered greatly under Imperial rule. My husband came here as part of his rehabilitation. We fell in love. Could I perhaps hold the baby, please?
He doesn't take kindly to strangers.
So much cuteness. I'm gonna guess that Jack's character has a very dark side that we're gonna see in this episode.
Because of this, all of our resources go to growth and the people.
I'd like to speak to these privateers.
You really must see the view.
Real quick, Jack Black appreciation rant. One of the reasons I love Jack Black is because the dude has never lost sight of his childish energy, even though that's not... There's got to be a better way to describe that. I feel like sometimes people get older and they just think they have to become this stoic, boring person. He embraces the chaos and that's inside of all of us, that energy, in the most joyful and optimistic way. He's just a big kid. That's a long-winded way of saying he's just a big kid, and I love it. And I think that's the best way to grow old, even though I'm not trying to call him old right now. Because really, as I get older, you don't really feel any different. You still feel like the kid you always were, even though you do become more aware of things and you acquire more knowledge and wisdom and whatnot, and you understand the world a little bit better, but you're still just afraid of the dark sometimes, you know?
I am not a mercenary.
Apologies if that is the impression I gave. What I intended to convey is that I would hope that this...
Grogu purrs like a cat?
...would be viewed as an act of diplomacy. Plazier 15 would formally recognize Mandalore as a sovereign system and petition the New Republic to recognize it as such.
And I feel like you probably do have that influence.
Axe Wolves indicated that he split from you because you had designs on ruling Mandalore once again.
Those plans have been abandoned.
Have they?
What do you think?
Yeah, I want to know what
you had me at battle droids.
These droids were all reprogrammed to serve the community from the stockpile of captured Imperial robotics scheduled to be scrapped at Carthage.
Oh, hey, it's Christopher. It's Doc. Christopher Lloyd. What's going on? What's going on in this episode?
None others.
Doc, you look like you probably should have when Marty went to the future. Oh, he had the de-aging surgery or whatever.
A small collection of malfunctions that our security cameras caught.
Well, Doc wasn't alive in the future Hill Valley. I mean, like, Doc was just old in general, but he was played by a young guy.
There's a fail-safe cutoff switch built into this system. The citizens voted against any interruption in droid services.
What?
The citizens are no longer required to work.
So socialism.
Seek out and decommission any remaining rogue droids until we can fix the problem. Speak to the Ugnaughts.
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 See what happens when you rely on droids.
Are you taking this personally?
Just pointing it out.
Let's just finish this so we can be on our way.
I am Bo-Katan Kryze. Which one of you is in charge?
Oh, they're all, I have spoken, you know. Ugnaughts, yeah.
This is going nowhere.
I am Mandalorian Din Djarin, friend of Ugnaught Queel.
Right.
I have spoken.
That was a nice hack. Nice cheat code there.
We were engaged to hunt down and eliminate the malfunctioning droids.
There are no such droids. This is not the case. I have spoken.
We're not in any way suggesting that your work is to blame. The stories of Ugnaughts' skill with smithing droids are legendary.
Here are the locations of the droids you seek.
I have spoken.
Then knows what he's doing.
I've spent time with Ugnaughts. There's a particular way to communicate with them.
Yeah, you just say, I have spoken.
I haven't seen battle droids since the Clone Wars.
Oh, battle droids, yeah. It is weird seeing them in this show.
Rest assured, I've had the entire line of loaders undergo maintenance protocols. Their base function was warfare.
I thought they were just checked out.
They were. What are you doing?
Then this shouldn't phase them.
Sir?
He's really testing them. Okay. You knew that was gonna happen. We warned you. All it took was a kick, though?
Oh.
That's dangerous. Yeah.
You should have left them alone.
Where's he going? The fuck's going on? What's the show where you go to work and you don't remember your life outside of work? Severance. I really gotta do cardio today.
The resistor.
Sounds like a droid bar.
Droid bars? There's a thing? What do they drink? WD-40? What's the assumption here? That someone's intentionally planting malfunctioning droids? Or putting malfunctioning droids into circulation? Cut to R2-D2 just fighting someone. Classic. He's been banned from so many bars. Belligerent, you know. Him and Lebowski, R5-D4, just...
There has been a string of malfunctions that all point to this oil can.
Kind of a clever way to refer to a droid bar.
If you don't start answering questions, I'll yank your memory circuit and dissect it back at the lab.
That's done. God, look at this
Nobody
guy.
leaves.
This guy's freaking out. Classic. And he's got his own little dark side R2-D2.
You're wasting your time. You can't reason with droids.
Their behavior's programmed. All they do is reason.
They're also programmed not to harm organics.
That's not true.
How's that going?
I thought you had a change of heart with Taika.
I want to help.
You want me to pull your hearing sensors too?
We are.
Jesus Christ. You're kind of a bigot here, Den.
There are concerns among my customers that we will be replaced.
By what?
Humans. Most of us have been refurbished and reprogrammed.
Well, these catastrophes don't help you.
This is an Uno reverse card. I mean, because in our world, we're worried about being replaced by, I guess, robots.
Human life is so short. They don't ask that much of us. Organics created us. It's the least we can do.
Wow. This is interesting.
Here, droids are served nepenthe.
What's nepenthe?
It is a viscous lubricant that protects against mechanical wear.
So it's WD-40.
It patches the programming as the commands of the mainframe change.
Smart WD-40.
It seems the malfunctioning droids all imbibed from the same batch of nepenthe.
So someone's actively just trying to sabotage this place so that humans do replace the droids. I do like that we're humanizing droids. I think in my Andor reactions or at some point, just when I've been talking about Star Wars, I have mentioned how droids and AI in Star Wars is like basically your greatest ally. You can fall in love with a droid in Lando's case, and they can teach you about love or teach you about life. Nice use of the Mando thing.
They're actually nanodroids.
How did nanodroids get into the Nepenthe? It's writing.
Hmm?
Rotate the perspective.
The Matrix.
It's a chain code. These droids were ordered by an individual.
Is it Kane or Gideon? Somebody?
Our head of security.
Oh no, not the Doc! Damn it. This is what happens when you go too far into the future. You just lose track of who you are, what you believed in.
We know about the Nepenthe and the nanodroids.
They didn't malfunction. You programmed them to disrupt an attack.
I should have seen this coming though. It was either going to be him or Jablinski.
Everyone freeze!
Not the big red button.
If I trigger this failsafe, it will convert the planet's docile workforce back into battle droids.
That definitely a big red button type of thing.
Give yourself up.
Give up? I never give up. I didn't give up to the corrupt Republic.
It is corrupt, to be fair to him.
You're a separatist.
I support democracy.
Yeah.
Count Dooku was a visionary.
Ooh.
He was cut short in his prime by the Jedi and Force.
Ooh, okay. Well, just shut him up just like that. But he's not. Look, Dooku was a fascinating character, and I loved that. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Hashtag politics. Never mind. Let's just not pay attention to it. What was the series of shorts with Dooku and Ahsoka that came out recently? Tales of the Jedi. Dooku's shit in that was amazing. Not to say he wasn't radical. Good job, Guru.
This planet is unrecognizable since he arrived.
I had a feeling you hated me.
Sorry. I don't know if it's funny.
I am sorry to have disappointed you, my lady.
As for now, you must live in exile on the moon of Paraquat.
Not the moon of Paraguat.
I grant you audience with our deployment.
Obviously, this is Lizzo. I didn't.
I
I
also
don't know.
give to you both our
I
highest
didn't think about.
honor.
I just didn't recognize her first.
You will always be welcome in our domed paradise. You are now a knight of the ancient order of independent regencies. Go in peace, brave travelers.
Aww.
They're Mandalorians. You're their leader.
I'm not their leader anymore. Ex-Wolves is.
Then what's your play?
Ruby wants to know.
I'll know when I get there.
Just wing it, okay? Are these all Mandos? Yeah.
I've come to reclaim my fleet.
I'm now in command and grown quite fond of it.
Yeah, I can tell. I like it what he's doing, though. Kinda. Got swag.
Then I challenge you. One warrior to
Oh, this
another.
is fun.
Do you accept my challenge?
By this music, I'm gonna guess that he does. Yeah, he does. He does. Oh, just like that. Here we go. That was cool. Slick move. I don't think you're gonna beat her. She's like 100 years old and hasn't aged a day. This is a sick fight, actually. Because it's... Yeah, I like this fight. It's not so high tech. It's low tech. Minus the jetpacks. Let's go. Yield.
Do you yield? You'll never be the true leader of our people.
I don't think
You
she
won't
will
even take
either.
the dark saber from him.
That is... Why wouldn't she challenge him? Yeah. Because you do have to kill, right? Technically. That's what Paz said to Din about not killing Gideon.
Mandalorians are stronger together.
Center can be said for
A misguided zealot
everyone.
possesses the blade. One, I might add, who has not one drop of Mandalorian blood in his
Oh,
veins.
get the fuck out of here. It's a creed.
He is every bit the Mandalorian that they were.
He has his own
The
show
ruler of Mandalore
called
must
The
possess the
Mandalorian.
dark saber.
Then she shall have it.
You can't just give it to her. I don't want you to give it to her, though. Are we doing this?
It's not a gift to be given.
I like you, though.
It's not a gift.
Or is he gonna battle her? No.
While exploring Mandalore, I was captured, and this blade was taken from me.
That's true.
Bo-Katan rescued me and slayed my captor.
Also, it's sort of like Harry Potter wand magic or logic.
Would this blade then not belong to her?
Like what happened with the Elder Wand, kinda.
Would it not belong to her?
Fine. I guess we can give it to her. I think it would have been more interesting if it would have been Din versus her for leadership, but whatever.
I return this blade to its rightful owner.
You pick him as your first man, though. Yeah, I did not think it was gonna go this way, to be completely honest with you. Yeah, this is a cool moment, I suppose. I just think it would have been more interesting if it wasn't this straightforward. I wanted there to be a power struggle. And yes, there was a little bit of that, but I thought Bo was going to be a lot more conniving and manipulative. That's not to say I dislike where her character is going, but there just could have been a lot more intrigue in regards to who was going to be the leader of Mandalore. I guess that was a fun episode. It had the same vibe and tone as like the animated shows. Something on Clone Wars or something. That passing of the Darksaber scene was very reminiscent of like when Sabine gave Bo the Darksaber in Rebels, but obviously at that point Bo hadn't earned it, and this show found a way to make her earn it without killing anyone, which I suppose is a good narrative goal, because at the end of the day Bo probably should be the one. She has the most history with the Mandalorians and Mandalore. Alright, chapter 23, The Spies. Heard good things about this episode. We're back on Coruscant. My favorite place in the galaxy? Not really. There she is, Kane. Looking pretty cool right now, to be honest. Very John Wick of her. Trench coat's sick. Is she meeting Gideon or something?
Report.
Sort of.
And make it quick, as I am short on time.
Sir, I'm afraid the pirates have run into trouble on Navarro.
Oh.
Magistrate Cargo was aided by Mandalorians.
Which Mandalorians?
The ones you dislike.
Bo-Katan Kryze led a squadron of Mandalorians alongside Din Djarin and his covert.
This cannot be. Those two factions are sworn enemies.
Not anymore, there was a change of heart.
I shall deal with our Mandalorian friends.
Your mind hasn't been flayed at all. What kind of troopers are these? Clones.
The New Republic is vulnerable, but we must be cautious.
Ex-Imperial leaders or management?
If we are perceived as anything other than a group of unorganized remnant warlords, the New Republic will increase their efforts to hunt us down.
This is kind of like in Andor when they wanted to make the rebellion seem like disorganized criminals because they didn't want the Empire cracking down. Obviously the logic applies, so I just like the reverse.
And provide Commandant Hux enough time to develop
Hux?
our Project Necromancer.
What a family.
Grand Admiral Thrawn is missing from your delegation. When he will be able to participate in the Shadow Council?
In the Ahsoka series.
Our one hope for success relies upon the secrecy of his return.
Well, now we know. We knew he was going to come back anyway. I think he's being played by the same actor, same voice actor. He's dope. He's a great villain.
Perhaps it's time we look to new
No, I like Thrawn. Gideon, you're okay, but Thrawn's way better.
What has become of Dr. Pershing and the research you promised us?
Dr. Pershing was captured by the New Republic. His research is lost.
Yeah, but under your orders, essentially.
You held Pershing and were attempting your own experiments on Navarro.
The creation of clones is your obsession, not
Bullshit.
mine. I account for what goes on in my sector. The same can be said of every member of this council.
Yes.
Of course.
That's right, yes.
You're correct.
We already received your request. 3 Praetorian guards.
What? The red guys?
And what is your security concern?
Mandalorians.
A research in Mandalore would hamper our efforts.
Which is why we need to stamp them out now.
So this is the First Order in its infancy. Interesting.
We shall be rid of the Mandalorians once and for all.
I doubt that.
Long live the Empire!
Yeah, that was a good cold open. That was a very good cold open. The Spies. How many are we getting? Kane's one. There was... Oh, C-3PO's ex-girlfriend. There was a lot of... Oh, they're already here. Oh, no. That's Bo and Din and the other Mandos, sorry. I was gonna say there was a lot of talk about the last episode being silly. I thought it was gonna be like on Navarro, Mando is sheriff, and him just like going around doing a bunch of side quests, and it would, but they were on a completely different planet. Oh, I like the shot of the armorer from her POV. I like the way this episode's being filmed, just in general.
I hope these two groups get along.
Grogu and Bo are
They've never
really
met.
friends.
And what little they know of each other, they hate.
This will be interesting. A bunch of helmeted Mandos quarreling with a bunch of unhelmeted. Well, they have helmets right now, but it's a good way to introduce yourself. Put the lid on. Put the lid on all of it.
Take the children inside.
Come on, Ragnar. Time to go play. Alright, here we go. Had to do that. Ceremonial. Everyone take their helmets off at the same time just to be dramatic and controversial. Yeah, and then here we have the law.
Welcome, fellow Mandalorian.
If you really want to set a precedent, take off your helmet, armorer.
A little welcome gift to celebrate our new neighbors.
That's a cool looking bottle.
That's not the only gift I have for you.
Oh, it's Taika. Oh, but he's being... Oh, it's not Taika.
That's IG-12 now. The Anzellan stripped IG down to his base motor functions. They removed his memory circuit. The pilot provides cognition.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a go-kart, basically.
Bad baby. No, it's squeezy.
Well, he's too little to operate this.
No. But let's see if he fits.
Oh, it's for Grogu. This is interesting. I kind of like this. Grogu doing work in IG-12.
He was too young to operate heavy machinery. Maybe when he's older.
No. I think he's saying he's old enough to operate it.
Yes.
He's driving already, man. Oh, Jesus. This is like when I took my stepdad's truck for a test drive multiple times. Or joyride.
Yes.
I think it just means he likes it.
Yes.
That's enough. That's enough. I get it.
Yes.
Okay, we can stop with the yes.
No. Yes. Hey, Grogu, no.
This is turning Grogu into a monster.
Here. This isn't working for me.
No. Bo and Din really are like the Capulets and the Montagues. You know, Romeo and Juliet.
Which is why I'm proposing that we leave Navarro and move the fleet into orbit above Mandalore.
Are we gonna have a showdown on Mandalore?
Find out what remains of the Great Forge and establish a safe perimeter. I need volunteers.
Yeah,
I will
saw
go.
that coming. Paz is gonna stand up too.
Grogu as well.
Let's bring the child. Wolves, I don't know her name. She, of course, is gonna... And then Paz.
I will go.
Yeah. It's gonna be all the ones we know.
I will go.
I will go.
The boy!
I will go as well.
I knew she'd... Yeah, her too.
Scouting party descending to surface.
This is really starting to feel like the last season of Rebels a little bit. Perhaps that's intentional, you know?
I was here when it happened.
The Purge? He's still in IG-12. He is going to fight in IG-12. That reminded me of Edge of Tomorrow, the Tom Cruise movie, because they drop onto the beach, not just at the beginning of the movie multiple times, but great movie. Emily Blunt as well. She was great in that. Bill Paxton. R.I.P. He was in that. Always great.
Somewhere below is where our ancient capital once stood.
Okay.
Form up.
She's excited.
There, on the horizon.
What is it? Is it Johnny Depp?
Do you have food? We do?
People still living here?
They're Mandalorians.
Oh, wow.
Is that the voice of Lady Bo-Katan Creed?
It is. It is.
We knew you would not forsake us, Lady Bo-Katan. We have failed you, but our blasters remain in your service.
Recognizes actors.
They punished us as a warning to the whole galaxy.
Yeah.
Because we refused to surrender.
Right.
That's not true. I did surrender.
Oh. Well, fuck. At least you're being honest.
I met with Moff Gideon. The ISB had reached out to me to negotiate a ceasefire.
ISB.
I didn't trust him, but it was the only chance I had to save our people.
I understand.
And then he betrayed me, and we were helpless to resist the purge of Mandalore. Mandalore has always been too powerful for any enemy to defeat. It is always our own division that destroys us.
That can be said for every great empire, planet, country, culture, creed. People.
We were taught that everyone but us had forsaken the way. That you were selfish and uncaring.
Yeah, that's usually what we tell ourselves about people we don't like.
I was selfish. And this is what it brought.
We'll rebuild it.
Together.
There's too much animosity. And this blade is all I have to unify our people.
What means more to me is honor. And loyalty. And character.
Just take your helmet off and kiss her, you crazy son of a bitch. You stupid son of a
The song
bitch.
is not yet written. I will serve you until it is.
Aww. Aww. It's a long song. Bohemian Rhapsody or something.
Those of you who are well enough can join us in the search for the Great Forge.
We can do better than that. We can bring you there.
Nice.
Onward, Mandalorians! To the Forge!
I like this guy. This actor's been in a lot of stuff, and he's always very commanding. He has a commanding screen presence, you know. I'll put his name somewhere. The wipers on. Axe and paths, of course.
You can't move an enforcer like that.
It's a flight job, and you're about to submit.
It's gonna turn into a fight. A lot of testosterone going on right now.
Primitives make up their own rules for everything.
Oh, God. That's a crazy blade.
Submit or fight.
Are they gonna be best friends?
No.
What a way to bring that back around. The yes is in the nose. Good job, Grogu. Not against the rules, though.
You taught your apprentice well.
You didn't learn that from me.
Yeah, I don't know what there is to teach. He just didn't like what was going on.
Come in, Fleet Command.
We read you?
Prepare to receive rescued survivors in need of medical attention.
Copy, Gauntlet.
You know what would be really wild, and I could totally see happening, is if the Armorer has their own ulterior motives. You never know what that bitch is thinking. Sorry, I didn't mean to call her a bitch. She's wonderful, and she's the true North for all of us. Is it the Mythosaur? Is it? What the fuck is that? It's some sort of weird thing.
Abandon ship!
The Zealots aren't going to take this as a good sign.
Where are we?
This is what's left of the Great Forge. The fires have been extinguished since the bombings.
Jetpacks.
More survivors.
No, those are Gideon's troopers. Oh, and his new troopers were literally made just to combat Mandalorians, essentially. Oh, totally makes sense.
There's a split in the ceiling there. I'll lay down cover.
Non-Mando shouldn't stand a chance, honestly. I don't care what they're wearing. They don't have the training or the experience.
Okay, kid. You've got to keep up.
There should be some sort of something blocking Grogu from shots fired. Get these wannabes out. Get these frauds out. Atta boy. Atta girl.
What is this place?
It's a trap. And Gideon set up shop on Mandalore. I mean, this place could have been built after the Purge, obviously, but... They're William Wallacing him! Oh no. Oh no. Gideon's got it. Is just decked out in new tech.
Disarm him.
He's really got an obsession with Mandalorians. Just wants to be one so bad. This is why the Empire assigned him to Mandalore and purging them and dealing with Bull. Because as a kid, he was just drawing Mandalorians all the time, just sketching, you know. He admired them. He was a big fan. And the Empire corrupted that admiration.
Mandalore will live on in me.
And now it's just this weird obsession.
I have created the next generation Dark Trooper suit. Forged from Beskar.
This makes sense. I said something about Beskar. It would have been cool had Mandalorians betrayed or been allied with Gideon, but this makes way more sense. And of course he has access to Beskar. They paid Mando with Beskar in season 1.
The cloners, the Jedi, even the Mandalorians. By aggregating the best of each, I will create an army that will bring order to the galaxy.
Oh, it's not just about the Emperor.
In but a few moments, the purge
The cloning.
of Mandalore will be complete.
Oh my god. He's still doing his job from back in the day.
I should have killed you when I had the chance.
Yeah.
I believe this is the part where you return the dark saber to its rightful owner.
Fuck off. Can't you get through the door with that? Not really, but do some Qui-Gon shit.
This is the way.
Hey, let's go! I knew she was gonna do some Obi-Wan or Qui-Gon shit. Episode 1.
Move out!
That was a lot easier. It took Qui-Gon forever. I guess that door was a lot more reinforced. It was reinforced much more.
We're clear. Fall back.
No, no, no. No, we're not getting some sacrificial moment from Paz. Oh, no. 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 Fuck.
This is the way.
God damn it, Paz, you beautiful man. Damn it. Damn it. I knew this was coming because we got to know and love Paz this season. I love it though, and of course it's with his oh, his gun's so overheating. Of course it's with his cannon. Damn it, Paz. Who's gonna take care of Ragnar? Din? I hope so. God, this Paz is the best. That's oh. the guards, the Patronian guards. Whoa, dude. Paz better take some of them out. This music is dope, too. How does Gideon just get these guys? R.I.P. Paz. Wow. But how does those guards, right? I don't want to pronounce the first word that starts with a P wrong, so I'm not going to say it. Because they worked with the Sith, right? They guarded. They were at the Emperor's side. They were at Snoke's side, Vader's side in his temple. What were they just doing? Like, who are they? I need to know. I need to look more up about the lore surrounding those guards. Praetorian guards. The Praetorian guards. Praetorian guards. But the Praetorian guards are exclusive to the First Order, but they're reminiscent of the Imperial Royal Guards who protected the Emperor during his reign. Right, so they're kind of the same thing, but they're technically not. Oh no, they're the Imperial Praetorian Guards. And these guys have to be ones that's worked or served next to the under the Emperor, obviously. Damn, I wish Paz would have gotten to take out at least one. Once more onto the breach, dear friends. Rest in peace, Paz. At least Ragnar has a family. And this year is actually the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. My least favorite in the original trilogy. I think a lot of people would say that. I could give a fuck about Ewoks, but I love me some Warwick Davis. Also, it's Praetorian Guards, right? I feel so tempted to say Patreon Guards. That's not correct.
This is what's left of the Great Forge. This was once the heart of our civilization.
The Great Forge reminds me of what's it called in Knights of the Republic. You know, everyone was after whatever it was that manufactured, produced a fleet, you know.
Moff Gideon is alive. He's gathered his forces and he's using our homeworld as his base. They're sending up fighters to destroy the fleet. Evacuate everyone.
Yeah, he's really cucking you guys up. Oh yeah, Mando's. Are we gonna get to see Pedro's face in this episode? Maybe not. Probably not. Look at him go. Come on. Oh. No. Oh, nice. Grogu and the skeleton of Taika. You know.
I'm okay. I'm okay. Help me up.
What a victorious coup.
Grogu.
Where was he hanging out?
I need you to be brave for me, okay?
Oh.
If we don't take out Moff Gideon, this will never end. You with me?
Yes. Okay, nods. These cold opens have been really good this season. Oh, this episode's called The Return, and I was just talking about Return of the Jedi.
Bo-Katan, come in.
Received. Where are you?
How you doing today? Morning, beautiful. Afternoon. Whatever it is.
Let's go this way!
Sir, the fighters and bombers have launched. Their capital ship will soon be destroyed.
But the Mandalorian has escaped.
No, he didn't. He was right there.
No, I'll take care of him myself.
R5. Come in, R5.
Lebowski! Ah! He returns. He returns.
And get me
the prodigal
location
son
of
returns.
Gideon's command center.
Oh, he's not a morning person. R5D4. Dude, you're gonna fall off. Relax. Take a deep breath. I know this is your first time on an adventure, but if you're a little nervous and maybe you don't last as long as you would like, you're not gonna remember anyway. Because there'll be so many more adventures after this one. All that matters is that you tried. That you were kind and affectionate. Tender.
Got it. Good job, buddy.
Nerves are a compliment sometimes. That was just a joke. I think within the canon, R5-D4 is actually, he did serve in the rebellion, so he's been on adventures before. But they are portraying him like a, you know, nervous. Let's go! This really feels like an episode of Clone Wars or something. Or, The Bad Batch. The Bad Batch is really fucking good these days. The newest season has since aired its last episode, but you know what I mean. Or released. Oh no, is Axe gonna do a sacrificial thing? Similar to Bad Batch? I'm not gonna say what happens there in case you haven't seen it.
I don't have any weapons, so this might get messy.
Ooh.
R5. There's some barrier shields. I'm gonna need you to deactivate them one at a time.
You can do this, you can do this, you can do this. You've seen art. No, you haven't. You don't. That's right, that's right. Slow and steady. Yikes.
Over the shield! Over the shield!
Weren't even having conversations, these guys, or anything. Just standing in this fucking shielded room like idiots. Good job, Din. Yeah, gladiator style now. Din's burning some calories in this episode. I like the way they're utilizing his physicality. Oh no. It always sucks getting caught in the act.
R5, next shield!
Attaboy! Yep.
Next shield!
R5. Good job, buddy.
Indeed. Indeed. Lebowski with the win. Oh, now it... Alright. You're done. You're done, Lebowski. Just fly away. Oh my god, they're moth clones! Did I know... maybe I just didn't make it out in the last... No, this is a reveal. What a fucking narcissist. It sort of reminds me of the scene at the end of The Prestige. I love that movie, by the way, that Christopher Nolan movie starring Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman. Maybe I shouldn't elaborate further in case someone watching this hasn't seen it. Great movie, just watch it.
That's not Gideon.
No.
Those are his clones.
Dude. Eyes open, saw that coming. Maybe some of them are nice, though. No, they don't inherit the consciousness of the original. That's not a thing. I don't really know how it worked with the Emperor, because that was sort of the case there. But I think that had a lot to do with his Force consciousness being transferred to a vessel, you know.
We've taken refuge in these surface caves since the Purge.
What a beautiful little spot.
Do you live here?
Fuck, I would. Better than this fucking place. This domicile of dread and despair.
You found underground gardens.
No. We planted farms.
Oh, nice. Good job, guys.
I've only ever seen gardens in the domed cities. I never knew the surface could still sustain plant life.
All they need is room to grow.
A lot of multiple meanings there.
Let's take back our planet.
I'm really waiting for the da-da-dun, da-dun. I know we got it with the cold open, but I want it again in this finale. Alright, yeah. Darksaber, of course. Lead the way. I mean, regardless of what people say about this season and those who have their issues with it, you gotta admit it looks really cool. I think so, at least. Like, look at this POV. This looks dope. Oh, there's the music. Dun, dun.
My clones. We're finally going to be perfect by adding the
One thing I never had, the Force. Midichlorians? Yep. So that's why he wanted Grogu.
You smothered them before they could draw their first breath.
Yeah, and they could have been good people. To be honest, it's pretty shady and feels kind of weird. It's the Patreon guards. Praetorian. Let's go, Din. Come on. Fuck him. I mean, if Paz couldn't take him, though, and he's kind of showed you up quite a bit. Let's get Bo in here with the Darksaber. Or IG-12.
No.
Yeah, let's free up the adult to attack the baby.
No.
He just wants to be Darth Vader so bad. He's like Kylo Ren, but without the affinity for Kill the Puppy music or Nirvana. What are you? Oh, Grogu does have the Force going on. Let's go, Grogu. Oh, and he doesn't have... I wish he had a lightsaber, kinda. The little one. Let's go. Go, Bo.
I've got this. Go save your
Yeah.
kid.
Oh, okay. It'd be wild if he just whipped out a double-bladed lightsaber. No, Daddy's home. Daddy's home. Oh, this. This kid's so fucking powerful. And exposed to so much violence at a young age. I mean, he's only like 300 and something. Maybe he's 60. I don't remember. You should have easily disposed of him with this Darksaber. I don't know how his weapon is even holding up. What? Are you fucking serious? Well, there goes that.
The Darksaber is gone.
That was easy. What's gonna happen here? Mythosaur is gonna show up and be like, yo?
Mandalorians are stronger together.
True. Yeah. Daddy's home again. Fucking, that Darksaber was around for thousands of years, I believe. The first Mandalorian Jedi to be inducted into the Order forged it himself. Paz Vizsla's ancestor. Something Vizsla. And just like that, this fucking weirdo destroys it, like, with his hand. With his grip. With his ironclad grip. Oh, he's dead. Oh my god! This is a Rebels reference. This is totally a Rebels reference. Ezra's master, Freddie Prinze Jr. Damn it, why can't I think of his name? You guys know his name. You know, he does this so that Ezra and his boo can get away. He's getting exhausted less frequently. Not as exhausted. Wow, you guys, never fuck Mandalore and make the Mandalorians cucks. Look at Paz. At least he's got a family, like I said.
I swear on my name and the names of the ancestors
I swear on my name and the names of the ancestors
that I shall walk the way of the Mandalore.
that I shall walk the way of the
I
Mandalore.
already did this
The
already.
words of
We're just finishing. This goes back to the first episode. We were just finishing a ceremony because that got interrupted before. I like this bookend.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way. Plus the living waters, we needed that, right, to finish the ceremony proper.
Grogu is my apprentice.
Oh.
He is no longer a foundling.
Oh no.
Add him to the song.
Is he gonna get a helmet?
He is too young to speak.
Oh,
so
no.
He is too young to take
He's
the
not gonna
creed.
get a helmet. We don't have to do that anymore. And he can't speak. Is he gonna talk? It's just Patton Oswalt's voice.
Gave
But
permission.
I feel like Patton Oswalt just voices
Couldn't he
everything.
then become a Mandalorian apprentice? Then I will adopt him as my own.
Oh.
This
is the way.
This is the way.
Let it be written in song that Din Djarin is accepting this foundling as his.
Wow.
You are now
Din Grogu.
Mandalorian apprentice.
Wow.
You must leave Mandalore and take your apprentice on his journeys, just as your teacher did for you.
Well, now I want flashbacks with Din and his teacher. Like Duncan the Tall and his dude. Oh, the Mythosaur. You really didn't do anything. You just woke up from a nap for a little bit and then went back to sleep. Oh, Bo's really just doing this.
We really appreciate what you did. You made our jobs a lot easier. Your kid sure likes the trophies.
It's not him, kid.
That really sort of was like a sentence.
You don't have the resources to protect the Outer Rim, let alone hunt down Imperial remnants. And I need work.
Ooh.
You want to work for the New Republic.
Sounds like it.
An independent contractor.
It's a step down from the leader of Mandalore, which is what I thought he was going to be. Him or Grogu, but here I mean, whatever. Now it's a police procedural.
What I want in return is that.
Scrap assassin droid head?
I need it for parts.
Oh, really? You really committed to IG-11's return?
The people of Navarro appreciate all you've done, Mando. I want to give you this deed.
This feels kind of like a series finale, but like, if it is, it's lackluster. For a series finale?
And I have a gift for you as well.
Greetings, citizens.
He's back.
I am IG-11, your new marshal.
He's back.
Your new marshal
He's back.
of Navarre.
He's back. This is a happy ending for them, though. I'm kind of okay with that. Well, that last shot's beautiful. Coming in late to movies and television shows, anything really, you try to be objective and you try not to form preconceptions based upon what other people have said to you or you've heard in the ether. Regardless, that noise can get in the way and factor into reactions like this one. Ignoring the noise is something we all deal with because outside influences can ruin shit. Or they can make things better because the hype's fun. I do get the criticism surrounding this season of The Mandalorian. However, I think if you dial down your expectations, there's still a lot to love here. So I'm going to start there with the things that I liked about this season. Destroying the Darksaber. Not saying I liked that. While I have my issues with it, it's obviously just a way of... Well, because this season was so concerned with Mandalorian culture, them moving forward in a progressive way, it being destroyed allows them to move past arguably archaic views. Winning the Darksaber in order to lead, that sort of thing. Now Bo can just be the leader of Mandalore because they chose her, not because she wields a certain weapon or has completed a sacred task. And that theme consumed Bo's journey this season, and I suppose the Armorer as well. She didn't include that bit about keeping your helmet on when she made Ragnar say the words at the end there. I really do love Katie Sackhoff as Bo. She made a seamless transition from animation to live action. There was no one better to play Bo-Katan. I really liked her and Din's dynamic. I really liked them together, romantic or otherwise. Her getting to redeem herself in that showdown with Gideon was dope. All of the fight scenes and action sequences in this season were really cool, actually. I also did really enjoy that look we got in episode 7 at the First Order in its infancy, and that hint at Project Necromancer, which is likely and unsurprisingly their effort to resurrect Palpatine. And I think I like Gideon more now. But he's dead. Even though they didn't explore it that much, I liked what they did with him, because he didn't want the Emperor to return. He wanted to be in charge. Also indicated by how he rejected Thrawn in that conversation with his other friends. His misunderstood pals. I don't really understand the loyalty they all have to the Emperor. It makes sense that someone would try to seize power for themselves, like Gideon. And the way that he intends to go about it is kind of ingenious, combining the best aspects of the clones, the Mandos, the Jedi, like he said. Also, as someone who worked under the Emperor, naturally he would develop an interest in the Force and becoming Force sensitive to level the playing field. Not to mention his interest in the Mandalorians, their armor and weaponry. Like, the Mandalorians are the only group besides the Sith to ever really put up a fight against the Jedi, with Beskar and whatnot being not resistant to lightsabers, but fairly. Last but not least, the stuff with Din and Grogu was strong this season. It felt like a natural progression for them, and it's the central relationship, so I'm happy that it did get as much focus as it did. I still find this series engaging, obviously, based on my reaction. Mostly because I love Star Wars and I love this universe. And that can make me a consumer ripe to be exploited, milked, manipulated, which is at the heart of all the criticism levied at Disney and Lucasfilm. That said, this season was clunky and inconsistent. A lot of nothing was stretched out like silly putty. Some of these episodes, and you know which ones, were essentially just side quests, which can be a fine thing when a season of television has more than 10 episodes, but not when it's 8 and you're trying to tell a focused narrative. For example, episode 6, which I'll talk a little bit more about in a handful of seconds. And then the episode with Dr. Pershing was overdone. I think it was 3. I did like the idea of the New Republic having a dark side, and I wish they would have developed that more, explored that more, and had it played into the main plot more. It didn't. And then so much happened in these final 2 episodes, almost all of which could have benefited from more development. For whatever reason, I just didn't care as much as I should have. In my opinion, there was just a lack of tension in general. And I mentioned that earlier on in the season. I was never once worried about the main characters, which takes away from the action, regardless of how cool. I didn't really feel like they developed Din at all this season. Certainly not in the way that I thought they should have. The focus of the development he had revolved around his prejudice against droids. That was basically episode 6's purpose, outside of Bo's fight with Axe and getting the Darksaber. I haven't cared about Din's droid issue since season 1, and I barely care about IG-11. Sorry. After Din removed his helmet at the end of season 2, I thought the show would become more about his relationship with the Creed and culture, not Bo or the Armorer. Even though the Armorer was weak, the development there. I thought Din would go on to remove his helmet as frequently as characters like Bo. But that wasn't explored at all, and it makes little to no sense given the fact that all of the Mandos have accepted the fact that you can remove your lid, but then for some reason most of them still keep it on. Also, Din's relationship with the Darksaber is confusing, because I feel like his episodes in the Book of Boba Fett, or at least the Return of the Mandalorian, lit the fuse under what would have been in his journey learning how to wield it better. Sorry if the lighting looks different, I just had to turn down my ring light because I feel like it's making my eyes water. And that was another reason I thought Bo would step aside and make way for Din to become Mandalore's leader. But he just gave it back to Bo, the Darksaber. I'm not crying, I swear. I don't know why the lights are messing with me. She ended up with the ending I thought he would have, you know? And that just makes it feel like the writers are playing it safe, because she was the easy choice. A lot of what happened here was the easy choice. I mean, in fact, we've seen this arc, or this sort of arc, before in the animated shows. This is how I feel The Mandalorian now contradicts itself, moving away from a strict adherence to ideals or beliefs while at the same time reinforcing it. There's a lot of contradiction in real life, and I get that. but narratively, it's frustrating because you can't have it both ways. For example, you can take your helmet off if you want, but you don't. The Darksaber is gone, so we don't care so much about symbolism. But then the last shot of the Mythosaur implies otherwise, right? The helmet thing still bothers me. If they're accepting others taking their helmets off, wouldn't they just be like, oh, finally, I can breathe? I can't help but wonder if they wrote around the fact that Pedro was busy and couldn't be present. Or we have to keep Din's helmet on now, so we'll just have all the Children of the Watch keep their helmets on. And that's not a slight against Pedro. I mean, the guy's a fantastic actor, and obviously, and it's great that he was working on The Last of Us and other things. But it results in a lot of inconsistency for the show. There's also this issue that Star Wars has, well, actually every big franchise and or restaurant chain has it, a recycling of things that have worked before, like the training with and the passing of the Darksaber, which I think was done a lot better in Rebels with Sabine. Here, as I said, it felt forced, rushed, and didn't really make sense. When Din presented the Darksaber to the armorer in the Book of Boba Fett, it clearly meant something to him. But then in episode 7, he acts like he doesn't care. And yes, that could be a byproduct of him gaining respect for Bo and wanting to support her, in addition to his evolving relationship with his set of beliefs, his scaffolding of beliefs. If his ideals are evolving, then he would surely take his helmet off at some point. It just feels inconsistent, him giving it away willy-nilly. Yes, she saved him, but that explanation felt pulled out of thin air. Grogu using the Force to shield Bo and Din from fire was another recycled moment from Rebels. And the Obi-Wan Kenobi series did that too. When Obi-Wan cuts half of Vader's mask off and we get that look of Anakin in the moment between the two, I did love that, and I thought it was heartbreaking, but mostly because of the performances we got from Hayden and Ewan. Outside of their performances, the moment's almost exactly the same as the one between Vader and Ahsoka in Rebels. And how can that not feel redundant? Like, these are supposed to be big moments, emotional moments. But if you've already seen them before, they're not going to hit as hard. Obviously, people who didn't watch the animated shows won't know or care, but they can't keep that up forever or things are going to grow stale and uninspired. And I guess this finale sort of acted as a reset button for Din. Sure, he has Grogu with him, but he's back to bounty hunting, essentially. Safer bounty hunting, which is worse. I kind of have mixed feelings about it, because this series was at its best when it was a bounty hunter in a space western vibe, you know? I can take you in warm, or I can take you in cold. But I thought that was merely Din's starting point, and in retrospect, I thought his journey would mirror Luke's in a way. The hero's journey. The unsuspecting guy from humble beginnings who becomes a legend. I thought he'd become the leader of Mandalore. And in truth, the Mandos choosing Din would have been more in line with them rejecting the old ways than choosing Bo. Because she already has what I think is equatable to a birthright. Now, thinking about it, I would have been fine, and I think I did say this in one of my videos, with the show ending after Din gave Grogu to Luke, because it felt like the end of that story arc. That was the ultimate climax, which is not an innuendo, but maybe it is, because we were all aroused in one way or another when we saw that episode. How can it not feel downhill from there? Was this season groundbreaking? No. It didn't really present an argument for why we should keep watching, but it did present some interesting lore without being daring or stylistically unique. But it was fun, and I think we just have to make peace with the fact that we're going to get a bunch of mediocre Star Wars projects in between the magic, which may be few and far between. But Disney still has access to some of the greatest creative minds in the world. And I do support Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni as creatives. They're good at story, and they're nerds. But everything else is just corporate. That's how it works. When the mom and pop place becomes a chain, sometimes it's just about feeding the hungry people. Other times you get a really passionate, down-on-his-luck chef in the kitchen who's looking to prove himself. Franchise fatigue is almost unavoidable in this day and age. But hardcore fans will stick around thanks to things like Andor. Came at a weird time. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say, because this video is long enough. It's just this massive jug of expired milk, because I've mentioned milking it. Yeah. Big love to everyone who was bored enough to join me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Contribute to this conversation. What did you think of The Mandalorian Season 3? Drive me off this platform if you must. Otherwise, like, subscribe, dislike for cathartic reasons, drink water, stay young, and remember, don't be an idiot, be a buffoon. Peace.